Welcome to No Substitutions, the podcast where I have some of my favorite people on and we discuss the ingredients that make up who they are. And today I have a special guest. She's a force. She's one of the most inspiring businesswomen, and she's done a lot for sex workers, and I'm just very excited to have her on today. So please welcome Sawyer Gilley.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you so much. Oh, okay. Let's get into it. What are 3 qualities you would say that are the most important for your career?
I wrote this down on the way over here. Definitely being a good talker.
Yeah.
You know, like just having a good conversation with people. Also, 3 qualities that I have to be good at?
Or like for your profession.
Okay,
like,
you have to love going out to dinner too.
Ooh,
Like
perfect.
Yeah. You have to love long dinners and long talks.
Mm-hmm.
And you also, you really have to like put yourself out there, you know, like you have to like, no matter, I always think like, no matter how like gorgeous or talented or like competent you are, like opportunities aren't just gonna fall in your lap. Like people aren't just gonna like introduce you to their like favorite person or their most famous person or whatever. So you just have to like go up to people and be like, I'm a huge fan and I wanna help you, or I wanna like work for you, I wanna scrub your floor. So I guess just like putting yourself out there, you have to do that.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's a good one.
What about you?
Honestly, probably same thing. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like, the long dinners with networking is like,
I hate that word, but
I know. But networking is like such a big thing for both of us. And yeah, if you don't have people skills, it's going to be really hard to try and make it out there in
I
Hollywood.
always forget that like people don't have people skills, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But then you talk to someone or you bring them to a party and they're like in the corner and I'm like,
no, yeah.
Oh, man, like
the amount of people I've met in Hollywood, even people that are like you've seen all over TV or something, or like on podcasts, and then they just are so antisocial or so closed off that you're kind of like, well, this is uncomfortable. I feel like this is
I don't think it's like required for like you to like, I think if you're talented enough and work hard, like you can still make it if you're socially awkward. I just think it like boosts it times 1,000, you know?
Oh, for sure.
It's just a fast track. Yeah.
Where's your favorite spot to take clients for dinner?
I love Inn of the Seventh Ray in Topanga Canyon. It's like the most romantic place.
Just romance your clients?
No. It's like, that's what it's called. Like the quote is like the most romantic place in Los Angeles. Like everyone, you go there and like 10 people get proposed to. People have weddings there. Have I taken you there?
I don't think so. I'm trying to think of places we've gone.
I don't think
Topanga,
we have.
No.
It's like at the top of Topanga.
Wow.
It's really incredible. I like it because it's quiet.
Yeah.
It's a little too quiet sometimes. And I love Pache. That's where I was going to go tonight with Carlos, but he's disabled.
Is injured. Yeah. He might have a neck brace.
I hope he like contacts the people I sent him because yeah, I don't know. He seems like he just wants to lie there and suffer. I'm like, this girl will come to you. Anyways,
freaking.
I love Pache, but you cannot hear anything.
Oh, yeah.
It's like there's like jazz music and it's
you gotta
so
be
loud.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of hard trying to pick out dinner or like lunch spots for meetings.
Yeah, because you never know. And then half the time I'll show up like in a full like extreme outfit, like you know, like a dress and heels, and then like a potential client will be in like a hoodie, and I'm like, I look so embarrassing. Like it's more embarrassing to be overdressed than underdressed, in my opinion.
It's like yes and then no. I feel like if you at least just own it, you're like,
I don't own it. Every time I'm like, oh my God,
like,
why didn't you tell me you weren't gonna like?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Man, I feel like that'd be kind of. I don't know what to do if that was like my first meeting with someone. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess. Well,
you're like dressed to the nines, and
Yeah.
like
I'm just like in a hoodie. I would feel more embarrassed being underdressed than
Really?
overdressed. I feel like,
I think you're in the power position because like at
That's
least
why-
you're
yeah.
comfortable when you're
Yeah,
in a
that's
comfortable
true.
outfit.
Yeah. What are the biggest lessons you've learned becoming? What would you actually say your title is now? Because you do so much.
I think the main thing I do is consulting. Like that's
Yeah.
what is the easiest to describe it, and like consulting individuals as if they are companies.
Yeah.
Mainly porn stars. But like the reason like I think the title of my company is called Not Your Publicist, and like
Right.
I think it's like morphing into new meanings all the time, but I think in essence it's like, you know, not your publicist, not your agent, not your manager. Like
Yeah.
it's a really customized experience, and it's like a customized relationship. And I
Yeah.
think like over the years, I used to have like an ego about what I was called, you know, to somebody. I never wanted to be called an assistant, but now I look back on it and I'm like, I'm really proud of the time that I was just an assistant, and like I should have, you know, been proud of that title back then. And I
Right.
think that's a mistake a lot of people make as well, is like, don't have an ego about what you're called to someone. Right now, I just always tell people, especially when they're like, oh, I want to introduce you to my agent or this, you know, CAA, like a huge company. I'm like, okay, whatever you do, don't say I'm a manager, like,
Yeah.
or just say I'm like a little girl, like a friend, like,
Yeah.
because then because other people will have egos and think that I'm stealing them from them. And yeah. So I think over the years I've had, you know, less of an ego of what I'm called.
Right.
But what was the question?
That's pretty much the answer, though, was like, what are the biggest lessons, I guess, like as a publicist, assistant?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I do, no, that's like a great representation.
Yeah.
Actually, she is the reason, well, not the reason, but
I'm like,
I feel like
yeah, I'm not a sex
meeting
trafficker.
you, no.
She's the reason
She's the reason I'm informed. No, she was the first person I talked to when I started my OnlyFans. And I feel like you helped me set up my career to, like, the success I've gotten. I credit a lot of it to, like, the, like, all the things you taught me and kind of, like, the structure you already gave me anytime we did consulting.
Oh,
So.
I know. I remember, like, the first, that's part of the main thing. What I do is, like, when they feel sick of like playing a character. When I met Lumi, she was like just starting out, so like she didn't have any kind of character she was playing yet. But it's definitely a lot easier when you like highlight the things that you're actually like authentic and like passionate about, like for you cooking, because then you don't have to like keep track of your lies. You know, like I'm this girl that is. You know, whatever.
I'm just a small town girl.
Yeah, just a small town girl next door. Like,
ex-chef.
Yeah. I remember one of my clients like had she was like pretending to be her whole thing was like that she was a personal trainer on OnlyFans, like, and like a sex worker. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. You're like a personal trainer too. Like, let's try to incorporate this into your brand. And she was like, oh no, I actually don't know anything about like personal training. Like, I thought that would be like a sexy thing to do. And I'm like, and then I found out that she's like building this whole home from scratch. And I'm like, you need to share that. Like, this is so much more cool.
Like, there's so many other things.
I'm really proud that you like from the beginning, even just to something as simple as like used to cook. What do we say? Like La Petite Chef. Slut, something like that. Like,
yeah, you helped me come up with
like,
that.
Now you have a cooking themed podcast.
Yeah.
And I love that.
I know. And like, it's so crazy to see in 2 years where everything's gone. But yeah, I loved that any advice you gave me about that it's led me to this. So I'm like very grateful for all that. Trying to think. What's your favorite dish from your childhood, you would say?
Oh my God, like the breadsticks at Oscars.
Oh
because
my God.
like my mom would cook, like we only had chocolate chip pancakes and buttered noodles. Like that was the only thing we ate.
Yeah.
So
well, because
I don't really have.
I'm trying to remember. Both your parents were like working all the time, right?
My mom was a stay-at-home mom.
She was?
Yeah.
Okay.
She just didn't
She just said,
cook.
like, cooking.
No,
Okay.
no.
That's fair.
She's very, like, frugal, too. So,
Mhm.
like, that, yeah, we didn't really, I think I might have been,
Who did the cooking ever? Like,
no one.
no one?
Like, no.
Not even you and Sierra when you guys got older?
I did. I, like, love to cook now.
Yeah.
But,
Mhm.
yeah, no, I think that literally I stunted my growth, or like, because
We
there
talked
wasn't,
about that.
like I didn't get my period until I was 17 years old. I was also like a gymnast,
crap,
like working out like 24 hours a week at the gym, like every day
Mhm.
after school. And then my meals were pancakes and butter noodles. So I don't think I got enough to eat as a kid.
I know. You actually, I think you showed me photos from your childhood. And I
Yes.
was like, that is crazy because now you
Yeah.
have like
I know.
amazing boobs, like amazing rack. But like when you were like a kid and,
Yeah.
or no, I think you showed me a picture when you were 14. I was like, you look like you're 7.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Literally. I know. No, I
Yeah.
lost my boobs like I recently, like, because of
They're
my
still, I mean, they're very,
it's just the bra, like it's
Okay.
like, yeah, it's like empty inside now. It's really sad.
they look great. They're sitting nice.
Thanks.
But yeah, food.
I don't even understand like the like anatomy of your body. Like it just like breaks the laws of physics. That's what I tell to Toby all the time, because how are you not just like falling over?
I straight up believe that I prayed so hard for boobs when I was in middle
too.
school.
Me too.
And then I like got them.
Yeah.
It was the first time in my life I was like, maybe God is real.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what I was praying to, but I do remember like, because my mom, she's always been tiny, but
Yeah.
she like had no boobs.
Mm-hmm.
She has a nice butt, but she never had, like even when my boobs came in, I remember we were at the river and she was like,
When my boobs came in, we were at the river.
we were at the, well, they came in that summer and she was like pissed at me. She was like, that's so rude.
Oh.
She was like, that's so rude. Like, why do you have a rack?
Yeah.
She's like, I thought, yeah.
How dare you?
How dare you have boobs? I
Yeah.
was like, okay, well, we're going to turn the tables again.
Okay. That should be the new name. Turntables.
Turntables. That'll be
Still
like,
on theme.
we can do, we'll do like maybe in like a few
That's
years,
like
do
the
like
slogan.
another.
Oh, how the turn.
Oh,
Maybe.
maybe. That'll be my new intro. What is the best meal?
Or there's like a segment where I'm like such a
you're good.
consultant in my mind. Oh,
I
there's like
know.
a segment where you like turn the table and then I get to like the guest gets to ask
Ooh,
you.
that would be fun.
This is the turntable.
I was in the bathroom earlier too, and I was like looking at the bathtub. I was like, wonder if anyone's ever done a podcast in a bathtub. I was like, no, that would be, well, first of all, mics would get ruined. But I was like, if we just like had one mic
Yeah.
and like our arms are outside and we're like in
Yes.
bathing suits and like stuff.
That
But
would be amazing.
I was like, it'd be so nice to just take a bath right now.
Yes. I love
Someone can
baths.
use that
I
idea.
take a bath every day.
Yeah, just like,
I think
and how are you?
I think that would be great.
Do you like this Epsom salt? But what would you say is the best meal someone has ever cooked for you?
Well, at my birthday party, you made this drink. Like I put you in charge of making the drink.
Yeah.
That's not a meal, but it
But,
was.
yeah.
It got me so drunk, but it tasted because it tasted so good.
Right.
Like I know my limits, but if something tastes so good,
You're like,
I have
it's fine.
lose control. Yeah.
Mhm.
But I think the best meal.
I'm
I think
actually
it's like
surprised.
something that like I cooked for myself because no one besides you in my family or friend group cooks here in LA.
Right.
So
I'm actually surprised. I don't think I've cooked for you yet.
yeah. Every time
We'll circle back on that.
Yeah, we'll circle back. But like I'll
Once
make
I
like short rib and
Yeah.
like a lot of French food and
She
little
actually
sandwiches.
cooked for me the other night. That
I
was
did.
really good.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good salad.
And then one of my
pasta.
best friends, Nolly, like she makes like fairy food. Like she'll make like
Fairy food.
this salad with like all like flowers in it and all these like amazing
Aw.
like Santa Cruz like NorCal kind of
Oh,
vibes. She lives
hell
there.
yeah.
And like no meat ever, like sweet potatoes and carrots, and like we used to always like we would make magic out of nothing. Like we had like $2
Mm-hmm.
and we go to the store and like somehow create this like incredible magical meal.
That's
every time.
awesome.
So
And that was back in college?
that was back in college, but she just flew in to see me, and she made me some things at my mom's house, and that was really nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Santa Cruz. Yeah.
No.
That's awesome.
Did you ever go there?
Not when you lived there. I actually used to visit there a lot back in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
I was dating someone. He was from Humboldt, but he was going to college down there.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were doing long distance. That was actually my first relationship.
Wow.
Yeah.
The guy I talked to?
No,
No.
that was who I lost my virginity to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're friends, but no, yeah, we didn't really date. He was just my first,
Yeah.
and also like the first man I was like ever experienced unrequited love.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was a sweetie.
yeah.
But he was just so like ADHD brain. Like I couldn't get a word in the whole the whole call.
Yeah, no, he's a fireball.
Yes.
Who are some people who have helped you grow?
I think my boyfriend,
Oh,
Toby.
we love Toby.
Like when I met him, I was like a broke college kid, and he was younger than me, and he had like worked already for 10 years and like had a nice car. Yeah, because he's an athlete, so he started
Right.
younger. And like I would never think of myself like as a company if it weren't for him. You know, like
Yeah.
he has never been like when you're an athlete and you have sponsors, you have an LLC or a corporation.
Right.
That's the best way to do it. And he set that up for me when I first started, and I've just thought of myself as a company ever since. And I think just when you're like, it just helps you to like step it up when you have a boyfriend too.
Yeah.
You know, when you have a boyfriend that like makes a lot more than you, you're like, oh my God, this is fucking embarrassing. Like, and he never knew how broke I really was.
Right.
Like, I like lost this weird job I had like after college, like fell apart, and then he like offered to pay for my rent one month, and I was like, I'm not gonna accept it because I don't mind like a man paying for things, but like
Right.
I'm not like a super girl boss. But I was like, if I accept this, I'm never gonna like get what I want eventually. Like it was like so meaningful for me. So I like took
Right.
literally my last $1,500 and paid rent with it. And then that next month I met Stella, or that same month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel like that's great though too, because you know, he's your partner. And
Yeah.
that's what I always think of. Like I've dated people not make as much as me or make a lot more than me. And I always am like, we're partners. Like I want like what's mine is yours, but like when it comes to bank accounts,
Yeah.
it's like, no.
I always tell him what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine.
Yeah. But that's like, yeah, that's awesome. He's the best.
Yeah. And
Toby.
he just like, oh my God. Like I went through like a mental health crisis like last in December, like whatever month it is now, like 3 months ago.
Oh yeah.
And he like basically like ran my company for like 2 weeks, and like just like it's just very emotional for me because like that was something I was so worried about. Like I was like in the mental hospital like telling him what to do, like babe, like don't let and it just got to a point, unfortunately, where like he didn't know when I was like gonna come back or be in my right mind. So I just ended up like just taking a hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
But I came home like for the first time last week and saw all of his notes that he made like from all of my clients. Like he had like this whole like notebook of all of their like things, and like
Aww.
I don't know, he's just so like he puts everyone first, and he doesn't burn bridges with anyone, and like that he's just really inspiring, you know, like really inspiring.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's like that's the goal.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
It's like your partner. I feel like that's what everyone needs in life, is like to just have that if you're gonna have a person, like that person should be your biggest inspiration, and like
Yeah.
you guys can both pull inspiration, and like even the way he talks about you, and like at your birthday, that was like, yeah, it's like he's just such a good person.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Toby.
I know.
Oh. Yeah. You want to talk about the last few months?
Yeah.
And kind of like what you reflected on, and
Yeah.
you know, first time in your life you had to like, you know, pause.
Yeah.
And you're like someone I know who is constantly going and working. So
Yeah.
there's a part of me that was like, I hated like knowing that you were going through that, but I was also like, oh, I hope she just gets some time to like breathe and just like
Yeah.
show up for yourself for once.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. I mean, it was around Christmas last year, like, and this is not the first time this has happened, by the way. Like, I've always struggled with my mental health as an adult. But this is the first time that it ever had, you know, it had ever gone this far. You know? But yeah, in December, that whole year, like there was warning signs for sure. Like I wasn't present in certain moments. Like one of the like most like a warning sign that I should have paid attention to was like my boyfriend's family like made these Christmas plans when I was like over at Thanksgiving, and I didn't even hear them. Like they looked at me in the eyes and told me the plans, and I was so focused on work and like my shit that I didn't even hear it. So then I scheduled all this work stuff for right around Christmas, and I couldn't come up there. And they were all brokenhearted. And like things like that, like throughout the whole year, where I just really wasn't myself. And yeah, I had piled on so many projects and so many clients. And, you know, I'm also like a codependent. So I was trying to make everyone happy. And I think trying to make clients happy, the people that worked for me happy, and it just leads to like so much, you know, there has to be like one that breaks, and the one that broke was me, of course. And yeah, anyways, I really just cracked. Like I truly cracked and fell apart and tried to kill myself. And like, you know, it got really bad. Like I wrote a note and like said goodbye to the people like I needed to say goodbye to, and like couldn't like go through a whole day without even a moment without thinking of a way. And I was truly like torturing everyone around me, you know, with my thoughts. It's like I can't imagine like, you know, and I think like everyone was, when you're like so close to the source, like you don't operate well when like your daughter, your sister, your girlfriend is like in crisis. I think like someone off the street would have helped me more in those moments than like my family, even though I'm so grateful they were there for me. But yeah, it was like, it wasn't just work either. Like it was, my therapist said like, I had about 10 huge stressors in my life, and one of them would have made a person crack.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I had a major mental health crisis, and it's taught me a lot and humbled me beyond belief and given me like so much compassion towards others. But honestly, like the places that I went to, that like mental hospital and like mental rehab places, like treatment centers, they're not like, most of them are not good at all. Like they're not like, it's not good therapy. It's not good, like, none of it is good, like no matter how much you pay for it. But the main goal is like, I know like the like, you know, healing centers are great, but you don't go to those if you can't get in if you're like actively suicidal, not staying on meds, all that. So the main goal of those places was to just keep me alive, which my family, like they have to go back to their lives eventually. So they just, nobody realistically could do that for me. And I was, you know, I spent a lot of money trying to keep myself alive, a lot of money. Like, and it feels like so shameful. Like I feel like I worked so hard, and then, you know, all of that goes down the drain. Like, what was the point of it all? Was like my brain was going. But one of my best friends was like, "What the fuck were you gonna do with the money if you were dead?"
Yeah, you can't.
So,
yeah, you can't.
That kind of like helped me a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I think I just have a lot of messaging that like money and success is like the most important thing.
And we live in an area and work in a business that tells us like the more we work, the more reward it is, and the bigger house we get, it's easy to want those things, and then at the end of the day, you're like, I have a roof over my head.
Yeah,
I can feed myself, feed my dog. Like that's all I really care about.
Yeah.
When you really have to, but it sucks. It sucks because it's like so easy to get wrapped up in the whole fucking rat race. Your story actually helped me today because my little sister called me and she's like been having a hard time, and she was asking me like about facilities because she struggles with mental health, and she tried to kill herself back in actually December too. But and I told her, I was like, you know, I'm like, if you want to come stay with me, I would actually like feel like I could help you, but I'm like, I don't think there's any facilities that I'm like, first of all, don't think my parents could afford that. Her parents, her dad and my mom. But yeah, and I told her actually about your experience. I was like, I was actually just with my friend who went through all this and did the facilities, did treatment, and I'm like, honestly, at the end of the day, I think you just need to know that you're not alone. And
I think like the most helpful thing for me throughout the years has been recovery rooms, specifically Codependence Anonymous. That's been like just incredible. And it's hilarious because everyone there, like when you go to AA meetings and stuff, it's like, you know, you get a mix of people when you're in LA. Like there's some homeless people, there's some celebrities, like there's some, you know, but the codependence ones, like all Porsches just lined up outside, Teslas, like all these people you're so successful when you're a codependent because you're such a great people pleaser. Like you don't put yourself first ever.
No.
So yeah, it's hilarious. But that's like the free therapy has helped me more than like any expensive rehab or hospital or therapist I've had. So she could try that.
Yeah.
But in LA, it's like, it's so hard to tell people go to them because I know LA ones, they're like fun, you know, it's like a party here. Like
every thing.
Maybe, but it's like, it's not fun when it's like one person and like a broken chair.
No, it's good advice. I have to tell her that because I'm like, I don't know if there's like any groups, and that's kind of why she's like looking to go somewhere where she doesn't feel alone. And I'm like, yeah. Like,
Tell her to come here.
Yeah,
Come
like-
to the CODA meetings.
yeah. So it's like, that could be, yeah. Well, that actually kind of answers this one, but maybe, it's a life event that shaped you. I mean, that one that just happened, but I'm also like, I don't know, I feel like you've lived so many lives.
Yeah.
From like San Diego to now, that I'm like, if there's another one you want to touch base on.
Yeah, a life event that shaped me. I mean, yeah, definitely this one. I was thinking about this on the drive here, and I feel like, I think like when my baby brother was born.
Oh,
Like we were older. We were like, not older, but we were like 10 when he was born, me and my sister. And that was like when I felt most like myself, when I was around him, when he was a baby. Like I just would watch him all day long and like babysit him and like take him to play basketball. And like I would like sing to him when he was still in my mom's stomach. And yeah, I feel like that just changed me forever. Like, I also like think like our lives, my sister and I's were set up like to be all about us. Like, and you know, my dad was a photographer, so we would like travel all the time. And when my brother was born, like that changed everything. You know, it changed our whole lives. And then 2008 hit, and so I think I don't think I would be who I am today at all if it weren't for him being born.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's such my sister's 10 years younger than me too. It's such like a interesting feeling also to pretty much remember like from day one, like and watch your sibling grow up.
Yes.
Because
it is so weird. He's like 6'3" now and like
God.
talk like this.
He's like a man.
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I feel like he was
developing when you were last saw him, but now
he's like a man.
And he's like fully like he's like goes to the gym every day. He's like he's like a strong man.
Yeah. I know, and then that so funny because both your whole family is like very tall.
You know what I just realized? I'm the runt of the family.
You're the runt.
That's why I'm so fucked up. I had a dog that was a runt, and like she was fucking insane. And I think that's my issue.
You should talk to your mom and be like, when did you stop nursing me?
Exactly. I should ask her that. Yeah. Because I know that she breastfed my brother for a long time because we were like really poor. More poor than we were with me. So, but I should ask her that.
Yeah. You're like,
I'm totally the runt. Like,
yeah.
I'm totally the runt. That's so sad.
I'm the runt in my family. It's okay.
Really?
Yeah. They're all taller than me, including my parents who are only 5'6". My mom and my dad.
Aww.
Yeah. My dad really tries to say my mom's 5'5". I'm like, you guys are the same height. She like their wedding photos. She's like,
oh yeah,
yeah. She's 4 months pregnant with me, and they're in Vegas, and she's like,
love it.
Yeah, but she looked classy. She looked beautiful.
My boyfriend is the same height as me too. He's 5'5". He would say
we
he's
love
5'6".
We love a short king.
Love short kings.
Honestly, every time I see like a short king meme, I'm like, don't be.
Yeah. I've only been in love with short kings too, like my whole life.
Short kings are, I would love a short king.
Yeah, you need a short king. I think that would really help you out.
Yeah,
yeah.
Really help me out. Just have a short king.
Because the nice thing about short kings is like they
it's not as much ego.
Yeah, exactly. And like you also like you can definitely see what they look like. You're at eye level, you know? Like when a guy's taller, it's like it's a little blurry, but
it's a little blurry. You're too far.
Yeah. Get down here.
Get down here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or for me, like
to see what I bought. You know?
I feel like I get injured more when I have sex with tall guys versus a short king.
Injured? How injured?
Just certain positions.
Your Pikachu?
Yeah, or they just take advantage of my shortness and then like try to do crazy things with me, and I'm like, I actually,
I wouldn't know.
You don't watch my stuff? One of my videos?
No, I wouldn't know personally because I don't do that with tall guys. Only short.
Only short kings. Yeah, short kings don't try to like flip you upside down and do 69.
Yeah,
and
you like way more than them. So
so I'm like, when tall dudes pull that move, I'm like, this is not fun for me.
Yeah,
it's not fun for me.
I'm just imagining them like
literally, they're like trying to, that's what
Yeah.
they do with me, and like I'm a pizza dough. I'm like, this is not fun.
That just doesn't even seem sexual to me at all. Like,
no, it's
I
not,
want to do
because
that.
at that point,
Yeah, it's like acrobatics.
yeah, I'm like,
Let's just do the vanilla thing and move on.
literally, I'm like, especially if it's content, I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Are you like vanilla in your real life? No.
I don't know. I'm like, I guess I crave intimacy more now. Like, for me, I'm not looking to get my back blown out every time. I'm like, I'm pretty happy if I just have a good connection with someone and the sex like feels good. I'm not, but yes, I'm not.
Being vanilla is like being the kinkiest thing you can be these days.
Pretty much.
You know?
Yeah.
Because everyone's doing insane shit.
Yeah. Like for me, I can't, anytime I've had sex off camera, if a guy asks me to eat his butt, I'm like, nope. You gotta pay me for
They
that.
ask you that?
There's
People
been,
people ask for that, like with their words?
Sometimes.
The audacity. Oh my God. That's crazy.
No, yeah.
No one's ever asked me before.
And there's
which might
also this one of my friends he's bisexual, has sex with men and women, and he, if you guys didn't know what that was, in case you guys didn't know what that meant, but he also ruined it for me because he was like, "There's no attractive way or masculine way for a man to get his ass."
I know. I remember like Andrew Schultz was talking about how he liked it on this podcast. I don't know him, by the way, but he. I just
like,
remember.
I don't know if he
yeah,
likes
I'm not
his booty.
associated with this story.
Yeah.
But I watched it on a podcast, and he said like he'd be like on his stomach, and he'd be like,
nope,
putting your butt up, like wiggling it up in the air, like trying to hint. I'm like,
I would no.
That's
what I mean.
Insane.
So like anytime a dude's like asking me,
I feel like this is like kind of like rapey and weird, but like I feel like the more like the less you like if you pretend like you don't want it, the more that the woman will probably do it or want to do it, you know?
Yeah.
So
or like
tip out there for guys that like it. Just be like, I'd never
be like,
that.
oh, I heard on this podcast like this chick like loves to eat her dude's butt. So weird, right? And then, like, see what she says.
Oh my God, no! I can tell when like I feel like I would tell if somebody was like that.
What are you
Just
saying?
spit it out, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm like, I can't tell if it'd be worse or better if someone hinted versus, because the times when someone's asked me, I'm almost like in shock.
Yeah. They
And
just,
then
what do
I'm
they
kind of
say? Like, and is it like in a panting breath? Like,
yeah, it's like, we're.
Somehow that's worse.
Because a lot of times it's like I'll be giving them head, and then they'll be like, will you
move down a couple inches?
Yeah, I'm like, oh God.
Head to Brown Town?
Like, yeah, pretty much. I'm like, no. Yeah.
Yes, if we can make out afterwards.
Pretty much. I'm like, well, the other thing too, I'm like, I've been here for the whole day and I know you haven't showered.
Oh.
That is so rude to ask me to go back there.
I feel like, yeah, you have to like prove,
I'm gonna get strapped.
Like you have to like be a bath taker as a man if you want to have that as like a thing we do. You gotta take a lot of baths.
Yeah.
So it requires a relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No. So now that I feel like that's probably like the one thing, because sometimes it's like required at work, and I don't mind doing it because a lot of times too, male talent, they're freshly showered, there's no hair down
shaven,
there, and they're just like, it's more for the camera.
It's so like we live in this bubble where it's like sex work positive and everyone like knows everything about porn, but then you like I'll talk to like, you know, somebody that is like a friend of a friend or something, and and like it's like a guy, you know, and they'll be like, oh my God, you know, porn stars, and like, and I'll be like, yeah, like this girl I love, and like I'll try to set them up with one or something like that. I love this girl, you know, and then they'll be just like, I don't think I can do that, or like they're just like so uneducated about like. Also, I'm like, the girl that like you meet at a bar is probably gonna have like chlamydia. Like these girls, like they're like so clean, like so professional, like. And it's also just like work for them, you know, it's just like a job. Yeah. So, but it's just a shock to me, like how many people don't know these like obvious things. I forget that like the rest of America exists and has a different mindset. I feel like I've
mostly dated people outside the industry in the last year. And it's like such a learning curve. And I don't know, it's like the only time where I've felt like kind of bummed. Like, I'm like, wow, like, because a lot of times too, guys, or I'll try to be patient, but I feel like it's maybe easier. Actually, I don't know if it's easier or harder as a guy or girl in porn, but trying to date someone outside of the industry, I think, is always going to be somewhat hard. But I was actually with Small Hands last night, and we were talking because he started dating Joanna Angel like 3 years before he got into porn. Because I was telling him, like, I like kind of had a situation recently where I was discussing like boundaries with the guy I was seeing, and I was asking Small Hands, I was like, I don't know, I'm like, pretty much I feel like I can't be upset if like this guy goes and fucks someone else. And he's like, no. He's like, you can be upset. He's like, I was with Joanne for 3 years, and when we got together, she was like, that's work. Me, like, going to work. Like, if you're not down with that, you need to tell me. But you can't go, like, fuck someone else. Yeah. Because not only are you putting a porn star at risk. Yeah. Because I'm like, I don't know what you do if you do go fuck someone else. Right. But you're also... You're like putting your life in danger. Yeah, and I'm also like, but now it validated me though, because I was like, yeah, I'm trying to like have patience, or I tell myself like I'm not allowed to have certain feelings about certain things, but then I was like, oh no, it's like, this is my job. You knew this was my job, and if you feel like you have to go fuck someone to be even or for this to feel fair, then you're not the person for me. Yeah. So I was like, that was... very interesting. There's also a thing you said about like being shocked and disappointed about people like that you date, in terms of like how they think about porn, and like I wanted to touch on that because like my job, like I will always work with people like sex workers and porn stars, and like I've been so like shocked and grateful that like other people from other industries want to work with me as well, like they'll just be like an actor that wants to do like a month consulting, or like a musician or something, and I'll never like change my core for like just because I'm like more Hollywood or something, and like, but I face that all the time, like when I face it like secondhand, like through like discrimination. It's fucking insane. Like some brands or podcasts or whatever will be like, I'll tell them about a client, or, you know, I remember a specific situation. Well, yeah, a specific situation. Like this person was like asking me to do like a stupid like show for YouTube with some of my clients. And like, I told them,
I gave them a ton of options.
Right.
They loved one person who's like very Hollywood, like but
Okay.
like an ex porn star,
Okay.
like very well accepted now into like mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, and then this person is like, you know, very similar to her, and like she'll be great on this show. And then literally the day before, they were like, actually, like we're not really into the other girl. Like, do you have any non-porn people?
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, you do realize that person is a porn person. Like, you can look up her doing porn.
She's still got all
like
the stuff.
Yeah, and like, why do you want this type of porn star, not this type of porn star? You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like, I get it from like an advertising perspective, I guess, but at the same time, I still think we're at a place in society where like anytime I meet somebody that like owns a company or something, I'm like, you need to hire. I think it like always breaks the internet when you like hire a controversial person. Not that porn should be controversial, I don't think, but
no, but it's sometimes. I mean, at the end of the day, sex sells. Like if you guys have someone who, you know, I even posted the other day. Because I'm just curious, like what brands out there actually are like down to do brand deals.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody?
Anybody?
Hello. But yeah, very curious.
It's very That's like my ultimate goal is to get like,
because I'm like
a porn person on the runway or on the big screen without having to quit porn.
Yeah,
and
that's
delete
what
their
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Like, I love getting to do this now, and like, there's a lot of stuff I want to do.
Yeah.
And anytime people ask me, pretty much like, they always like ask me what my plan is to like set myself up so that I can quit porn. They think like everyone, even if they're like, it's cool you do porn. Like a lot of people think that, oh, if you're like, it's not our choice. Almost, I'm like.
Yeah.
This is like, I chose to do this. I'm not ashamed of doing this.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, no, I don't have a plan. I'm like, I know there's stuff I want to do. Like there are other ventures. I'm always going to love to do other things, but I also do love to do this.
Yeah.
So it is kind of funny that they think like I have to choose one or the other, or I have to set myself up so that I can quit. I'm like, that's not even the goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, I would have to, I don't know, even if like I have a partner, like if they were down to shoot content or something, I'm like, I would probably always still shoot content. So. Yeah. If you could, okay. Ooh. Unpopular food opinions.
Oh my God. Well, I don't know if this is like that crazy, but like always put chips in my sandwiches.
Oh, that's
controversial.
I feel like it's
not
up there with like
like a chef wouldn't like that.
I do that. I like it.
Okay.
I don't do it a lot. I remember like my brother used to do that and used to put like French fries in his hamburgers.
Yes, I do that too. I do that too.
Because I mean, it all ends up in the same place, but
no,
I definitely think if you did that in a public place, people are probably gonna be like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Okay, you know, I don't like take my like. Toby actually does that with things. The most nasty thing ever. Like Thanksgiving,
and just puts
he just like mixes it up. Yeah, and then eats. It's insane. So Toby. It's not. I know. A lot of. Yeah.
We have to have Toby on.
I know.
Talk about that.
I know.
Be like, hey, first things first. Why? How do you feel about pineapple on pizza?
Love.
Okay, good.
Love pineapple, pepperoni, and jalapeno.
Fuck, maybe we'll do pizza.
Oh my God, that
sounds
really
so good right now.
Oh wait, let me think of another unpopular opinion. Okay. To me, like pork, I view the same as chicken. Like it has to be like burnt almost for me to like eat it, because it just grosses me out to think that
the flesh.
They're like, do you want rare pork chops? I'm like, are you insane?
Ew,
no.
Need
them to be fried.
Fried.
Yeah.
You're like, no,
Fully
crispy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dessert first too. I ate dessert first.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I'll eat like a cookie and then like eat a meal and then I'll have like 3 cookies after that, something like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're like, give yourself a little taste and you're like, this is the reward for the
This is
end.
the reward.
This is where our goal is after this meal.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Dessert. I just don't really like sweets. So I'm like, I know.
That's weird.
It was like, even growing up, anytime me and my siblings went trick-or-treating, the only candy I liked was Reese's.
Mm.
I would not eat anything else.
Yeah.
No gummy bears, no Sour Patch Kids, no
Wow.
Pixie Sticks. My brother ate whatever, and I was just like, ew, no. Like, didn't like my favorite cereal, Cheerios. Not Honey Nut, just Cheerios.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I also like fry salami, which is very weird. But like,
weird.
I'll do that.
Kind of sounds like an Anthony Bourdain move on
Yeah.
your end.
Yeah, like I'll do it with like eggs and like.
Actually sounds really
It's really good.
Yeah, okay.
And then I'll put balsamic glaze on it.
You love balsamic glaze. You did that. You like made that the other night.
I know. I'm obsessed.
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 If you had to describe your personality as a flavor, what would it be?
Ooh. Maybe chocolate, because I feel like
It's a comfort
I have like
food.
I have like a rich, like I feel like a rich personality, like a deep well. Maybe.
Yeah.
Like it's just a lot of. I'm definitely not like a surface level person. I feel
No.
like chocolate is like deep and.
Mm-hmm.
What about yours?
Ooh, I wasn't prepared for that.
You'd have some like crazy flavor, like a
Flavor, probably like
an avant-garde thing.
Oh no, I feel like
I feel like for you it's like chocolate chip because
Chocolate
like
chip.
you're like you seem very
dry
normal.
humor.
Yes, dry humor. Yeah, you get little bits of just dryness here and there.
Yeah.
but mostly you're like sweet and smooth and like
Aw,
normal,
I
and
like
then
that.
not normal, but like I don't know, baseline or something.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna go with something spicy. Because,
Oh.
or no, I think I would probably be like cilantro. I feel like cilantro is such a...
Cilantro is an ice cream flavor?
No.
Oh.
Just as like a flavor.
Oh.
But,
Oh. Wait, were we doing ice cream?
no, we were just doing flavors.
What?
That's why I was like, chocolate, that's nice.
Okay. Oh my God. No. Okay.
You're like,
Any
cilantro.
flavor in the world? Okay,
Yeah.
hold on.
Yeah,
That's
why.
totally different.
Yeah,
Cancel the
that's why
chocolate.
I was like, well, I do like chocolate for you though. And I do like
No, I
chocolate
don't.
chip for me. Like that does,
What
that
the
is funny.
No, I was like chocolate
Ice
chip
cream
ice.
flavor. Not quite. Not quite.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I'm trying to think of like a spice.
Mm-hmm. Rosemary.
Yeah, I was thinking that, or like cardamom.
Yeah.
Cardamom is like, it's like a weird taste, and it's like sweet, but then there's like a kick of like
Yeah.
spice to it
Yeah.
too. So maybe that.
Yeah. I was saying cilantro for me because I feel like, I'm not for everyone's palate, but the people whose palate I am for.
You taste like soap.
Yeah, I taste like soap to some, and then I also make so many ingredients or like make dishes more alive for people.
Yes.
Bring more flavor to their
Yes.
life. Or if you're not down with me, then it's soapy. But yeah, cilantro, if I was going to put.
I like that. That's
Yeah.
a good answer.
Ooh, I like this one. If you could cook a meal for any fictional character, who would it be and what would you make for them?
Oh my God.
Yeah, Chris did his research. He was like, she loves to read. It's like, yes.
actually bought one of the books you recommended.
Oh.
Oh my God, really? Oh, what? Which one?
I bought the Tim Robbins book.
Yes.
Oh, we love Tim
Even
Robbins.
Even
Cowgirls
Cowgirls get the blues.
Yeah, get the
That's
blues.
one of my favorite books.
Yes.
I almost bought Jitterbug Perfume because I
Yes.
liked the description on that one, but I went, since you recommended the other one, I just went with that one instead.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm about like halfway through with it. It's pretty good.
Oh, I
Villa
love it.
Incognito is like the best Tom Robbins. Have
Yeah.
you seen? I love that one.
Yeah.
I think.
I think even Cowgirls Get the Blues is my favorite just because the way he describes the sex scene between Bonanza Jelly Bean and
Yes.
God.
Oh my God. What do they call her? They say like a word that's like,
I know.
you know, it's
I'm
like
trying
starts
to
with a J.
Yeah.
And it's like a word in Christianity that's like Jezebel.
Yeah.
Jezebel.
Yeah.
I love that. That scene. Like,
Yeah.
yes.
That book.
Love it.
Yeah. That book is like, because I don't read a lot
It's
like
like that
fiction.
scene in The Office where Phyllis is like listening to.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Phyllis is having sex in this very, very office. She's like
Exactly.
rocking and moaning,
Mm-hmm.
listening to 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah. No, that's like probably my favorite books because I don't read a lot of fiction, but that's like a fictional book that it was the first Tom Robbins book I ever read. And it just like, I was like, whoa. It made me never want to write again because I was like, how can someone write this wonderful? Like make books like this. Yeah. Even like doing the audiobooks are awesome.
I can't even like imagine. It's just so hard to write a fiction book. Like, how do you just come up out of
That's
that out
why
of
I'm
nowhere?
like, without drugs.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
why I
wait.
was-
So I would make. Okay, there's a book called My Year of Rest and Relaxation. Have you read that?
No.
Okay, it's about a girl that just like her goal is to sleep for a year. So she like goes to this corrupt psychiatrist and gets like all these sleeping
Actually
pills.
sounds really nice.
Yeah. She puts like everything on auto pay and just like tries to knock out for a year.
Whoa.
So she's like, and she's just like really depressed and like, you know, just doesn't look good. Like she goes to like the corner store, like that's her only like whenever she goes outside. So I would, because I relate to that so much, I would just want to like go like get dinner with her and like have like a glass of wine
At the
and like
Topanga spot.
at a CPK.
Or
No,
the spot you take your-
CPK. That's another relaxing place that I
nice.
love to go to. It's in the mall and you get to like people watch. But I would just like somewhere in New York because it's based in New York.
Ooh.
I would just like to like go on the street and maybe we could like put on wigs or something and like just like purple wigs, like do something funny and just like have like
Go
a
eat
a
somewhere
steak
in St.
frites
Mark's.
and like some weird like bullshit food that like we'll roll our eyes at.
Yes. Go
But
to-
also I'd love to just bake chocolate chip cookies for Winnie the Pooh. I feel like that would be very satisfying and cute.
that would probably.
Or to make those hamburgers from SpongeBob.
Oh my God.
This looks so good, Krabby Patties. But
Krabby
like I need them
Patties.
to be real.
You know, the inspiration for the Krusty Krab is
Yes.
based on stars in
Yes.
Humboldt.
Yes, I just found that out.
Yeah. Because I was like, when we were talking about like famous people from Humboldt, I'm like, the only people we have.
Yeah.
Sarah Bareilles and the creator of SpongeBob.
And Lumi Ray.
And now, ish.
Sarah Bareilles, the musician?
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
that's
from
crazy.
Eureka, California.
Feel the rain on the roof.
Oh, no, that's...
No, that one? That's the song you played for me.
No, I Don't Want to Write You a Love Song.
Oh, okay, yes.
But I love Natasha Bedingfield.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Is that...
Why
I'm
is that-
pretty sure I think that's
Yeah,
her.
that's Natasha Bedingfield.
Did you know, I love music so much, but did you know that I Don't Want to Write You a Love Song? Do you know what that song's about?
No.
Or what inspired it? Is her, I want to say her agent told her she needed to write more love songs. And then she didn't want to write more love
And then that ended up
Oh my
being like,
God.
that song was in like 5 rom-coms when it came out.
That is what we
And
call
it's like-
alchemy.
It's a lot more literal than people think.
Yeah.
Right, you're like, I literally
Yeah, I
just
literally
don't want to write a love song.
Yes. And that
Yeah.
one that's like, you. I don't know. That one's like for her
Oh.
manager, I think.
Oh, wow.
Like she hates him or something.
She hates him.
It was like a fuck you song to like her manager.
Oh, I love that.
Remember that episode of Curb where they're all guessing like who it's about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
God, what musician was that?
Elias Morissette.
Oh, yeah.
Elias?
Alanis Morissette, yeah. And then, yeah.
Is that her real name?
I have no idea. Okay. A lot of times I'm like, I don't know. That was the other thing too, like when I first started doing consultations with you, I was like, I'm just too lazy. I can't like come up with a whole
bio
persona and like a name and a backstory. I'm like, I just gotta be Lumi Ray. Like, yeah. I was like, that's me. That's still my name.
Yeah.
It's not like my government name, but even like people knowing my government name now, I'm like, yeah, I like it. Like
oftentimes I'm like, you know Lumina, right? And they're like, who? And I'm like,
yeah, I'm like
Lumi Ray.
Yeah, or that.
Yeah.
I had like I have a very weird relationship too with my name specifically, that like I didn't feel being like curly, redheaded, and then having a name like Lumina growing up, I always felt I was always just being seen. I was always standing out. I was always like got attention that I didn't want, whether it was positive or negative. I just had like a lot of social anxiety growing up. So I was like, I just don't. I like hated like, I kind of hated my name. I hated like my hair. I straightened it as soon as I learned how to. And now I'm like, so it's been a journey for me to like fall in love with the name Lumina and fall in love with like this crazy hair and kind of, that's why like also doing this, like this job, I was like, I stand out and that's something that I should feel proud of because that's gonna take me places in this career. So I'm like, I need to like not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love your name. I've always loved your name. And I was like, I advise you to not use your real name, but I was like, such a cool name.
I know.
Like, it's so sad.
There's a part of me that was almost like, I could just do what Beyonce did and just have Lumina.
Yes. I feel like that's what I kind of do. Like, I don't.
Sawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just.
Sawyer. Yeah.
Yeah. Not it's because I think I'm Beyonce, just because like.
Right. No, for sure.
I don't know. I don't feel like I matter that much to be like, I'm blah, 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 you know.
Same. No, there's always, yeah. Okay. And I think, do we have some Q&As?
Yeah, we actually do have a couple questions as we're ending the show.
Okay.
Also, I have to say that like I feel like every day that we've been recording with you, I've had to admit like to a food preference that might get me fired. And I have to like do that again and say that I'm like Team Toby and just I like put all my food in like a bowl and be like, all right,
this is it.
Here it is.
Team Toby. And everyone's always on his side.
If I could maybe defend myself a little bit, it's usually because I'm working and eating at the same time. So I was like, all right, I just need to put everything together and then just scarf it down while I'm preparing for a meeting or
there you go.
But also, I don't mind that it tastes how it tastes. So
my mom's the opposite and has like OCD if any of her food touches.
Yeah. Oh, I know it. I have, except for coffee, I have like, if my food isn't searing hot, like I won't eat it.
Noted.
Yeah.
For what I cook for you, I'm just gonna put everything in the oven.
I can't
for
stand
like an
like
extra 20
I feel
minutes.
rude because like anytime somebody like if I'm at like somebody's house for dinner and I have to microwave it, like because you know people like they make all these sides and it's cooking for a bunch of people.
But that's the thing about being a good chef is like timing.
Right.
So anytime I make like something that's multiple courses, I'm timing each thing so that it's all done.
Yeah.
By, like, and then if like someone's like running late, I'll put their plate in the oven and like have the oven just be like on 200, just very low. Or I think there's a temperature that you can just keep it warm.
Yeah.
But I've also worked at a restaurant one time where this lady wanted her plate heated up every time. She wanted that. She wanted her food like hot. And I was like, you are 80 years old.
Yeah.
Like,
It's gonna be me.
that's your future.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to be a little bit selfish with my question because
Okay.
the majority of the work I do is also consulting. And when I was doing like research on you and like hearing the advice that you give, it kind of like sparked a lot of questions for me. And one of the situations that I'm in is because I mostly consult for like people's YouTube channels, and that's something that like next month the information I gave them is like out of date because it's constantly changing.
Yeah.
I was wondering is that something that you also have to deal with where things are like constantly changing, and how do you feel about like, like a couple months ago I gave someone really good advice for that time and then now it's like completely out of date.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I prefer now to work with people. Like I don't do an hour consultations anymore. That used to be like my thing. I would just do them on Thursdays. But now it's like you call my hotline, literally. You call the hotline. It's on the website. And then we figure out like a time period that we're going to like consult for. Because back when I like did the hour consultations, like I just like saw somebody and she told me what I said during the hour. I'm like, oh my God, what the hell? I would never say that now. Like that's horrible advice. So yeah, I think like you could just tell them like you kind of have to like teach a man how to fish, like you have to make sure that they are keeping on top of the trends as much as you are. And if they physically can't do that, then like maybe a consultant isn't right for them. They need like somebody to action it and like, but like with YouTube, it's like no one can like record for you. People can edit and like market it right, but yeah, YouTube is tricky and it's a really hard one to consult on, like especially starting from scratch. But I think it's so funny. I have a consultant too. Like consultants need consultants. Yeah, that's a really tricky one. I think like giving them the freedom and creativity to like have ideas for their like channels, and then you being like the marketer and telling them exactly like what title would be like the most algorithmically friendly. But also like I encourage like free writing, like just like literally having a client like free write, like and like having typos, typing as fast as you can, saying like fuck you, fuck your mom, like all like anything that's on their mind, like anything, just like dump. It's like a thing. It's like a practice in like the artist's way too. And I think Teal Swan, controversial person, but encourages it. So that's helped people. Are you writing it down? Love it. That's what I like to see too. Like I used to offer like a service where like we would provide you notes or like recordings of our talks, but like no, like you need to write things down. Like I remember like one of my friend's mom works for a big consulting company, and she told me a story about how she's this like little girl, like like she was like 30 at the time, and like all these like execs in a room, and she's like telling them exactly what to do, and then she just stops midway and she's like, why aren't you writing any of this down? Like, where are your pens? Like so yeah. I think that's also like there's a balance between hands-on work and like giving advice. Yeah.
Okay. I got one more for you, and it's also another selfish question.
Yeah.
Do you remember the book or author that made you fall in love with reading?
Fall in love with reading. Not really. Oh yes, East of Eden, John Steinbeck. But I think like,
It's a great book.
But I think like desperation is what made me fall in love with writing. Like, and I don't love it. Like, and I think that's a quote. It's like, if you love writing, you're not a good writer.
Yeah, I'm like, I hate it because I constantly, it's like, I think it's a great way to express yourself and process things. And like, it is a great creative outlet, but
that's like the story of how I got into what I do now is like, I wrote about a guy on a plane, and it's called How to Train a Fuckboy. And it went
yeah,
viral.
I remember
Yeah.
that piece. I loved that piece. Yeah.
I took it down. I'm like so embarrassed of it. I can put it back up. I just hid it for a while, but
Or just say it to me so I can like read
Yeah,
it every
yeah,
once in
yeah.
a while.
I
'Cause
will.
That was, yeah, that's a fun one. Yeah. Well, where can the fans find you?
Not Your Publicist everywhere. I mean, just on Instagram. I'm not anywhere else.
Yeah.
You can email me or DM me if you want to work together. And I not at this current moment, but by the time this airs, probably my website is notyourpublicist.com, and it'll have like the hotline number. Leave a message, and we'll like figure out. Which actually, the suicide hotline inspired me for that.
Oh, wow.
Which is kind of dark, but
We like dark.
yeah, we like dark. Yeah,
Yay.
if you're a brand that wants to change the world, let me know.
Yeah. She's great. She's fun to work with. You can find me everywhere, Lumi Ray. I'm not shadow banned, I don't think, anymore.
Lumi_Ray.
Yeah, at Lumi_Ray on Instagram, at Lumi Ray with 2 Y's on X, and at Lumi Ray for that extra spicy content.
And you can find both of us at the Soho House in Malibu, waiting for Larry David.
Wait for Larry David. Yeah,
apparently he goes there a lot.
Yeah, we're trying to. I'm trying.
We have to get a membership just for that.
I will literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I love him so much.
I know, that's what
One of my Larry David slides today.
Oh my God.
My king.
Aw.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Yay, that was fun.